How is everyone doing? This is Joe with Ohio Woodburner. We are back into this wacky weather, guys. We are just getting rain. And I have a dry morning, but the rain is coming in here in about a half hour. I have a pile of rounds that have been here through the winter. It's amazing how some things just are under your nose and you just forget about them. I need to start getting these split. I've been cherry picking the maple and the beech and the ash out of here, but I'm left now with a lot of hickory and oak, and I'm going to get both of them split as far as I can before the rain comes. What I've been doing when I split oak, I have that one restaurant that likes the bigger pieces, so I usually split those with the axis. Whenever I am splitting oak with my super splitter, I take this time to split them real small, and they go over to my area. We call it Oakland. We keep the oak over there for 2 years. It's out of my sight, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. One of the reasons why I just don't care for oak as a firewood, but when I can make money off of it, heck yeah, we'll do it. Splitting oak and hickory for me is the opposite ends of two extremes. Hickory smells awesome. Oak smells awful. I don't like oak, but hickory is a lot of fun. So I'll try to keep my morale up with these bad smells and go back to hickory when necessary. We're going to be using the super splitter today. This is made in Boston, Massachusetts. This has been a very integral part of our operation. It's what taught me about small splits equals more money. The cycle time is about 2 seconds on this, and you can really make a lot of progress fast with this. It's got its limitations just like any other machine, but I have always said that this is what put me where I am today, which allowed me to get into the professional grade stuff. All right, guys, enough gabbing. I got to get splitting. I will also show you, we're dealing with a lot of mud here. I still have to wear my muck boots. It's a little bit too warm for pants, and that's just what you got to do this time of year. But if I had any hopes of things drying up, I don't know if it's going to happen. It is very wet. That's why I'm using my wheelbarrow and my Ultratech dump trailer, because it's too soft to bring my truck and trailer out here. So I'm just going to do it light, and I don't have a lot of splitting time anyways. Once this rain starts, I am done. Here we go. This is hickory. Is a little stringy, but the super splitter is ideal for it. It just knifes right through the strings. Check this out when I split. See how those strings are coming out? Now, this log here is kind of dry, but when they are green, they're a little bit tougher. There you go. So this is what makes hickory tough to split with an axe. Not so much with the super splitter though. Can you smell that, guys? Uh-huh. Rain is coming. I'm getting a couple drips on me right now. I have some oak logs I gotta get split. I have said before, I don't think the super splitter likes running in wet weather. And this is what goes on. These logs are wet and that chaff and the scraps gets pressed into the beam with this back bearing. And if you let that get gummed up too much, it gets into the bearing and that bearing quits spinning and it can get flat spotted and put a groove in your beam. So I try to keep it scraped off. And if it gets stubborn, you can hit it with some penetrating oil and it loosens up and comes right off. But the hickory went really quick. I'm getting dripped on here with the rain. This stuff, I'm just standing here, guys, and it smells awesome. It's one of the joys of firewood, is just smelling the smells of some of these woods. Hickory, cherry, beech, just smells awesome. But then they're contrasted with oak. So we got to get busy splitting some oak. So we will see how the super splitter handles some of these oak rounds. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to cut the splitting session short. Let's take this over to Oakland and get it stacked. And we're gonna try and get this thing out of the rain. This is the far north corner of our wood lot. And this is where I stack oak that is for residential sales. I have a customer that I have a very high regard for. He was our first customer and I give him our best. So a lot of this oak that you see stacked here is over a year old. This will be sold to him in the winter. So I split it a little bit smaller to help it dry out. And I stack it over here. This is facing north and south so that the sun gets on both sides of the logs and tries to keep mushrooms at a minimum. And you can still see got some mushroom growth on these, but it's not that bad because oak, I don't know, mushrooms really like oak. If you stack it east and west, you know, the sun never gets on the north side of it and then it never dries off, and that's where your mushrooms grow. But where I stack the hickory, I still, when I walk, I'm just on the driveway, I get a whiff of hickory and man, it just smells so awesome. And when this oak is green and it's fresh split, oh, it just fills up the yard. It just smells awful. But it doesn't seem, it seems like when oak dries out, that awful smell goes away and it's bearable. Hickory, on the other hand, guys, it smells awesome. Probably, if it isn't my favorite, it is a very close second to cherry. Cherry is just one of the joys of my job, smelling it. What a great smelling wood. There is one thing about hickory that I don't care for, and they have this mite. You never see them, but if you have hickory that's been stacked for a while, this isn't going to have it because this was put out here in the wintertime. You pick it up and there is a pile of sawdust underneath it, and that's from that bug chewing into the wood, and it just looks awful, especially if it got rained on and you're delivering it to a customer, because it, you know, it gets caked on like a paste and it just won't come off. That's about the only thing though about hickory. It's a little bit stringier. It's a very hard wood, dense. That's what they make your axe handles out of. So it does have other uses than just for cooking food over. But what a great tree. What a great wood. I don't really get a lot of hickory because, you know, we buy our trees off of the loggers, and I don't know, I guess they just don't get a lot of hickory in their stands that they buy. Or if they do get it, it goes somewhere else before it gets delivered to a firewood producer. I think when I do get a hickory log, it's usually by accident. You know, it just got mixed up into another big pile of logs and it just gets thrown into my order. When I do see a hickory log come in though, it's a reason to get excited. You know, it's just one of those things that you don't see. The one wood that I never see is apple. I have never once got an apple log on one of my orders, and it seems like the only people that ever get apple are the people that go into the woods and get it themselves, or it could have been a homeowner that cut one down. But I've never gotten an apple log off of Log Hauler Jesse or any of the other loggers that bring me in logs. I will say I have worked with it before though. It is a very tough log. It does not like to split. It is hard. It's not stringy. It just is just a tough wood. And man, it smells like apples too. It's a really cool smelling wood, but I just don't really get any of it. And that is my task here. I didn't get a lot done with the splitting, but I do what I can. It feels a lot better for your day if you're if you were able to at least split something, because I don't work in the rain. That's one of my policies. And unfortunately, we've been getting a lot of that lately. We have a number of really cool projects that are in the very near future, and I'm super excited about them. Unfortunately, it's going to revolve around the weather. So if we can get this ground to dry up, if we can get it to quit raining, we'll be in good shape. I want to thank everyone for watching the video, watching me split some really great smelling wood and oak. All right, guys, I hope everyone has a great day.